Welcome to the Monday Kickoff, everyone, and welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having an amazing start of the week. As usual, in today's video, guys, we're gonna have a full breakdown of all of the events coming to Raid Shadow Legends this week, and we actually have quite a few different events. We had a massive maintenance today, guys, and for whoever is not familiar, most probably the maintenance actually activated the new VIP program. Which means that if you're a filthy degenerate Kraken, you're gonna get your own special VIP treatment and support and birthday gifts and all that crap, basically. So Plarium copied all of the Chinese companies that basically offer this. I've played quite a few different Chinese games in the past made by Chinese companies, and they all have a VIP program where if you spend a certain amount of money, they're basically giving you better customer support, they're giving you gifts and stuff like this. So Plarium is doing it as well. So if you're a filthy degenerate Kraken, congratulations. Then, of course, leaving all that on the side, the Thor fusion is coming to an end. I actually fused mine last night. The main reason for it, I decided to fuse him. The fusion ends on Thursday, so it's not going to be on during a champ chase event or anything like that. And we still have the champion training tournament, so I decided to fuse him, build him, book him during this event, so I actually get the points for it, so I don't have to do something else to complete the event, you know. We do have a surprise event, and I gotta say it, we have a massive summon rush, guys. We're gonna have some summoning events during this summon rush, some pretty solid events in my opinion, but I feel like this is the final bait before the Deck of Fate that might start next week. Now, as you guys may notice on the screen next to the Summon Rush, we actually have the Fey Hammer Titan event. I really thought that they might be making a Pair of Light event or something like that, but instead they opted in to make a Titan event which will last for 2 weeks. So let me just quickly walk you through that, then we're going to discuss about the summoning events and the rest. So Fey Hammer Titan event, guys. Feel the power of thunder. We're launching a new Fey Hammer Titan event running from Tuesday, September 17th all the way to October 1st. So basically 2 weeks. Now, in terms of points, we can earn a total of 1,750 hammer points. But you only need 1,500 hammer points to unlock all of the milestones. I would assume that this will give us a 5-star soul, of course, if you're not able to go all the way to pick up the 5-star soul, because, hey, this will be a pretty costly event. Usually the Titan events, they involve a lot of summoning, they involve a lot of farming, so you do need to collect 1,500 points. A lot of people might not be prepared for it because we've been drained after the fusion and all the rest of the events, but either way, you're going to be able to get a 2-star, a 3-star, and most probably a 4-star as well, which is honestly good. Kind of better than a Pair of Light, unless they make it in a similar way like they've done it for Scorid, if I'm not mistaken, or the Incarnate, where you were able to pick 3-star, 2-star, 4-star, 5-star souls, you know? So that's kind of like the thing with this Titan event. 2 weeks of summoning. Most likely we're going to get 500 plus points only from summoning events. So that's why it's going to be pretty hard. I would expect to get some points from the summon rush that will start tomorrow. So let me just quickly walk you through that. Then we're going to go over all of the other things that we kind of like need to cover in today's video. A lot of you guys ask me, Skratch, do you think they're going to make a 1+1 on Sacred Shards? Yes, they are, guys, okay? They are going to do one from tomorrow. So on Tuesday, September 17th, they are planning to launch an extra legendary event from Sacred Shard, which means that you summon one legendary, you're getting another random one for free. Now, this is good if you're planning to go and get the extra fragments from the summon rush. Personally, I've completed the fusion without that. I've completed all the previous events. So I'm not really too keen on summoning tomorrow because I'm trying to save my shards for the Deck of Fate. I got baited quite a bit during the 2x and stuff like this with the other champions. So I'm a bit short on Sacred Shards. I only have 2. I'm not planning to open them, to be honest. But basically, on top of that, okay, on top of the 1+1 Sacreds, which will last for exactly 48 hours. So Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way to Thursday morning. And it's going to be pretty much the same for the Summon Rush. we're gonna have 10 access, guys, and this 10 access will be on all of the faction unity champions. Okay, so far we got faction unity champions all the way to the skinwalkers, so we have only 6 in total. So what they are doing, they're basically splitting them in a... Actually, no, we have 7. So one of them is actually missing from the list. We gotta find out which one is actually missing, because that's actually intriguing now. So we're gonna have on Tuesday, September 17th, a 10x event to summon the following champions from Ancient, Primal, and Sacred Shards. The event will last 24 hours. Then on Wednesday, for another 24 hours, we're going to have 3 different champions. So we're going to start with Aelin, the Stalwart. He can enable you to do some crazy things, especially in Hydra, because they never actually touched that team. You can do like, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 billion damage. And that is, of course, with a rare champion with Ironclad. And it's all about this skill right here. Has no cap. So if you get an unlimited shield, you're going to basically... deal a lot of damage with Ironclad's passive. Now, one thing to keep in mind, that thing is getting nerfed, okay? And this is something that comes from the data mined information. They will eventually apply a cap to how much you can actually grow the shields. So be prepared, all of you guys that are running teams like this in Clan Boss, etc. Most likely they won't be working as before. Now, I'm not sure how big the nerf will be, what's going to be the cap on the shield growth, etc. But that will happen eventually. And I have no ETA for you guys. I'm just slowly, mentally preparing you for it, okay? Overall, he's a solid champion if you're planning to use him in the Siege with only Bannerlord team, with Taras, Marichka, and something else, maybe a double Taras, and that's mainly for whales, Krakens that do really care about Siege and put conditions. Is not a bad champion, but he's not insanely spectacular, in my opinion. They're better faction unity champions, and while I do think would be nice to get him next to Marichka and Taras for Siege, I wouldn't really use him anywhere else, except maybe Cheese Hydra with Ironclad. Then we have another champion, and that is going to be Fina from the High Elves. She's actually a very nice champion. I'm a big fan of her. I've tried to get her multiple times. Unfortunately, the luck was not on my side. The A1, nothing too crazy. I do like this skill. You get block debuffs, block damage, counter attack on a target ally. If the target of this skill is not this champion, resets the cooldown of all of the target skills. So that's why this is a very, very nice skill on a 3-turn cooldown. Now, of course, the skill's cooldown cannot be decreased, so it doesn't really matter what sets you're using, what other champions you're using. You're not going to be able to decrease this this skill, you know. But either way, on a 3-turn cooldown is actually not bad, and very, very effective for Hydra and other things like that. Right here, she will place increased attack, increased crit rate, and increased crit damage on all allies for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. And of course, grant extra turn, which will decrease the cooldown of this by 2 turns if you have multiple High Elves in the team. You actually only need one of them. So that's actually more than enough, you know. And then you have the passive, which is pretty nice too. Speed aura for all battles, some crit rate for the High Elves. She's definitely a solid champion because it can bring in a lot of value. Then we have Falmouth Monsword from the Sacred Order. He's actually pretty pog, okay, because he has this crazy passive where if the champions on the board take 10 turns, he takes 0 damage, and he deals a lot of extra damage on top of it. Of course, you don't need to have a full team of a Sacred Order to really make the most out of it, because if you have that, nobody can increase the cooldowns of your skills, which is very, very powerful. The revive on that can be very, very nice. And overall, he's a solid champion. He does have a lot of damage. He removes some buffs. This, again, a lot of damage. So I do think he's a nice one. I would love to get him, especially for the Siege mode, just to put a Sacred Order condition with the rest of the champions. Pretty solid. And on Wednesday, guys, September 18th, we're planning to launch a special 10x event to summon the following champions from Ancient, Primal, and Sacred Shards. So the champion that is actually missing from this is the Barbarian. So funny enough, we're not going to have Gregor on the list. I wonder why. Maybe because he's in the Odin dungeon. which makes no sense. But either way, we're not going to have him. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. We're going to have the Ogrin Tribes, Vizag. Not a big fan of this champion. He's okay, don't get me wrong. Interesting for PvE content, but he's not like super OP in my opinion. He's a good champion, you know. I'm not going too crazy after him, to be honest. So if I'll ever get him, it's good. If I'm not gonna get him again, it's good. It's not really gonna bother me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Maybe some of you guys have him and you managed to do some crazy things with him. Very curious to hear your thoughts. In my opinion, he's definitely a PvE champion, which is, of course, nothing wrong with that. Then we have everyone's freaking favorite faction Unity champion, and you cannot deny that. Legar Theox, guys. Oh boy, what a beast. I would love a dupe. I would actually love 5 more copies, just to keep 1 as a dupe and empower 1 to +4, so I make a freaking monster out of him. Very, very powerful champion, guys. And what can I tell you about this? I actually released a video, I think yesterday, on the most busted team in the game that speed farms pretty much everything in Arena if you build them right. The A1, a double hitter, and an ally attack. The ally with the highest crit damage will join in, and the damage is just going to blow through the roof because the damage dealt by this champion and the ally joining will increase by 10% for each debuff on the target up to 100%. I have champions hitting with a basic skill when they join him for like 15 million, and that's Ninja, okay? It's just crazy. Then the A2 will basically increase his attack, will decrease the defense on the target. You only want to use this skill twice, basically in a Hydra, just to increase your attack, and then prioritize the A1 and the A3. Nothing else really matters. The A3 is crazy. If you can manage to bring a full lizard team, you're immune to polymorph. You're pretty much immune to everything. You block revive, you ignore tons of different things. You buff yourself with increased attack and crit damage. Extra hit on enemies under debuffs. He's just freaking crazy, and you guys know it, okay? Plus additional damage for each debuff on each enemy, stacking up to 100%. In Hydra, with this skill, he can drop 20 to 30 million on decapitated heads. Crazy. The passive, that's where you're basically immune to sheep, and he does quite a few other things. He gets Stir Meter for every debuff, attack aura, accuracy aura. Crazy champion, and this is the only faction Unity champion that I have on my account, and yeah, definitely nuts. And then we have Bolan. Bolan, pretty interesting. Again, is more of a PvE champion. You could potentially do something for the siege with a Skinwalker team, to be honest. Double hit, a bit of healing, a chance to gain the extra turn. Attacks one enemy, defense down. After attacking, attacks all other enemies. Has a chance to land defense down. Double hit right here, replace a stun. Then all of your teammates basically will have a chance to apply a stun to, if I'm not mistaken, but that might be from the passive. So he has a chance to remove all buffs, fills the thermometer, and ignores 50% of the target's resistance, which is nice because you're not going to require tons of accuracy to do so. And the passive, that's what it is actually. Yeah, whenever an ally hits an enemy, has a chance to place a stun. Ignores 30% of target's defense against enemies under a stun debuff. He's a pretty interesting champion. But again, I wouldn't go too ham to try and get Bolan. Now, we are due to get a faction Unity champion for the Orc faction, and expect that to happen this month, okay? I'm pretty convinced, probably next week or something like that. Now, leaving the summoning events on the side, it is a pretty crazy summon rush, guys. You have all of the faction Unity champions up for the grabs. 10x chances suck, though. You gotta be extremely lucky in order to get one of them. Keep that in mind. But you do have a 1+1 on Sacred Shards, which honestly is the best thing to have on a summon rush, except a summon rush like we had with Mishinaki, you know? Other than that, this is the best possible summon rush. 1+1 on Sacred Shards. You're getting tons of points, much easier to complete, and expect, of course, to receive Titan points from this summon rush. Most likely 250 to 300 Feyhammer Titan points. Okay, leaving all that on the side, as you guys probably noticed, and that's something that just instantly dropped after the patch, we do have a Unity Soul summoning pool right here. And we have all of the faction Unity champions, including Gregor. So we have Gregor in here, but we don't have him on the 10x for whatever reason. So we will have a Sand Devils Necropolis tournament starting. We're going to get to it in just a second. The chances are right here, guys. You have basically a higher chance to get legendaries and epics. You're not getting rares from here. You're only getting some of these champions. We do have some amazing epics, to be honest with you guys. I would like a 6-star Phoenix. And that's about it. No, a 6-star Nelder would be nice too. Definitely. But other than that, I'm not too crazy after the rest of the epic champions to get a 6-star for them. In terms of chances, okay? 75% chance to summon epic, 25 to summon legendary, and you have a 5.5 chance to summon a 6-star legendary, which is not that great, to be honest with you guys. Either way is better than nothing, to be honest. And I've got 2 6-stars out of these events from the free summons. So as you guys might probably notice right here, the Sand Devil turn attack is actually just loading right now. Curious if we're going to be able to see if we are getting a full summon, because last time when we had, I think was a Prism Crystal event for champions rather than for Soulstones, we got only like halves in events. So we managed to do 1 summon out of multiple events. So right here at 6,300, so that's around 2,500 energy for my team to get 1 summon. I will complete this. I do tend to go for these events because I always need to farm dust and stuff, so it's basically like a bonus for me. But you will get a summon from there if you're willing to invest some energy, if you even have some energy left after this. But it will be on for 2-3 days, so with the daily energy you should be able to complete it if you're not planning to get your masteries done for Thor and other things like that. Next week, most likely, we're going to have a Prison Crystal event, the Deck of Fate. I was really expecting this week to have probably like 2x, 10x or something during the Summon Rush for the Asgardian champions, but seems like that's not the case. So, this weekend, we should have a 2x on Ancient Shards. We might have Odin as the #1 prize on the Champ Chase tournament. That's what we are actually expecting, to be honest with you guys. So if we're going to go over to the calendar, as you guys may probably notice, we don't have any of the information for these events moving on from Thursday, okay? But that's what's following, basically. A 2x on Ancient Shards starting from Friday. If Odin is the #1 prize, I might try to get him. It doesn't really make sense to don't be during a 2x on Voids, but hey, you never know. I feel like they will make more money with Ancients because people will waste gems. They can buy them from everywhere. And yeah, I feel like they would make more money with Ancients over Voids, to be honest, because people will whale out more, you know? So we might have Odin as the reward this weekend, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not really expecting anything else, considering that we have a Titan event, not a Pair of Light event. But most likely next week, we are going to have the Deck of Fate for Freya, the one that we've been waiting for quite a while now. The reason why I'm saying it is because we have the Titan event. Do expect to have Titan points in the Deck of Fate, of course, as usual. So basically, that's pretty much everything. Now, just a quick reminder, guys. If you haven't purchased anything from the clan shop, especially this energy, make sure you guys do it. If you're getting the silver, of course, or other goodies, make sure you guys do it. And if by any chance you still need to complete some of these clan quests, jump on it and get it done. This week, because I've been away holiday, I actually kind of like missed them all, and I haven't really bothered to pick anything. And of course, the bazaar again. This is not a weekly reset based on Monday or anything like that. Is based on whenever you started purchasing the goodies from here. But make sure you guys are checking this as well. Maybe you're gonna have the reset and get the goodies that you kind of like care for. I'm aiming to get that Void Shard. And just to kind of like cry a little bit, guys, I haven't got a freaking Sacred Shard from the clan boss in like almost 2 weeks. I don't know what's happening, but he is being a filthy, greedy bastard because he's not giving us any Sacred Shards. So yeah, I'm not looking too good on that. That's why I'm kind of like stacking the Primals and the Void Shards and pretty much everything else for that freaking Deck of Fate. I am hoping that it will require Soulstones. I saved all of these big Soulstones from coins that not actually purchased from the shop. It took me a long time to do so. And hopefully, we're going to get some event that will require soul stones because I'm going to ace it with these big soul stones, you know? So hopefully, that's going to be the deck of fate. As I probably mentioned it multiple times, save your immortal eternal soul stones for that deck of fate. If we're not going to require them for that, we're going to have another 2x coming just right around the corner. But as usual, guys, that was pretty much everything for today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you tempted to summon on any of these events? Are you going to go for the 1+1 on Sacred Shard and get baited by Plarium before the deck of fate? Or you're going to stay strong and wait for the deck of fate? It is worth it to open Sacred Shards during these events once you are kind of like 10 to 15 opened without a legendary champion. That's when you can kind of like, okay, I'm going to YOLO a few and see if I'm going to get a legendary champion. But a lot of the times, even on 2x events, I end up in opening 10, 12, 13 Sacred Shards with one legendary or no legendaries. And the legendary is going to drop on the 14th shard, you know? So definitely keep that in mind as well. Have you completed the Thor fusion? I know a lot of you guys were trashing him, saying that he's trash. I've mentioned it before I left away for my vacation. Guys, you gotta do this if you don't have to run that. You gotta do this if you want to improve your Hydra damage because he is a very strong champion. I don't have him on the test server anymore, but I am planning to release a couple of different videos in the next few days on him, guys, with more accessible teams and stuff like this. But I do think he's a top-notch champion. But that's all, guys. Much love. Appreciate all of you watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.